Hey everyone. I have a bit of usually when I'm talking about things I turn into rants about stuff. And today I have a big one, which has really pissed me off. It's about Amanda Todd, the Canadian girl who committed suicide earlier this year. And I know I'm a bit late on this topic, but I literally knew nothing about it apart from that she committed suicide until today. I can't remember what, I think it was something on Facebook or something about her. And then I realised I actually wanted to know what happened. So I decided to Google her and went on Wikipedia and the usual spots where you try and find something about somebody. And I found myself getting slightly infuriated. Well, more than slightly, really. I'm not saying that that suicide isn't horrible. I'm not saying we shouldn't be sad for people who feel forced to end their lives, and I'm sorry that people do. But there's so many suicides every day, and no one creates some sort of kind of global recognition or memorial for them. And to be honest, actually, not even just suicide, death every day. There's so many that doesn't need to happen, like starvation and murder and genocide and everything like that. So much going on, and no one seems to talk about it anymore. Like, they do, but not in the same way. Like, there's not a kind of huge backlash like there is with this girl, which I think is odd because I just think it's completely random why this has happened. Another point is the reason for her death. Now, bullying is horrible. Everybody knows that. Even though I'm someone who's actually never been bullied to my memory, I don't think I've actually been properly bullied at least. But I guess maybe I'm just not one of those people that's susceptible to it. I'm not sure. But we all know people who've been through it, and it's really hard, and I understand that. But I feel that this girl's scenario was kind of easily avoidable in a way. Like, I saw a video of somebody I saw a YouTube video of someone commenting on this, which I will link. I was able to find it again. Yeah, I should be able to. I'll link it in the bottom in the description-y bit, so you can watch that, because I feel like it raised some good points, and that's one of the things that made me want to kind of talk about it, really. The guy in this video, don't know who he is, but there you go. He was talking about a kid who killed himself. I don't know how old this kid was, I can't remember. But he killed himself because he was picked on for being short and clever and, stuff like that. And I feel like he can, avoid being that way, And also, what makes this story even worse is that the kid's father also took his own life because he was so devastated by his son's, death, which is just horrible to think about. And there was another story that the guy in the video also mentioned about a teenage boy who killed himself because he's bullying about his sexuality because he was gay. I think that's fucking disgusting. Like, some stupid mindless people going about homosexuality being a choice, but it's not. And it's ridiculous to think that still, and it's ridiculous to be homophobic or racist or anything in this day and age. I think people are just stupid, and I don't even think it's about open-mindedness about it, because I think I'm pretty. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of open-minded as it is, but I don't feel like I'm being a liberal person by thinking that homosexuality is fine, or by not, accepting people, because it's not being liberal, it's just being a decent person. You don't have to have an open mind to accept them, because they are just people, and it's just fucking. But that's a different man. Anyway, yeah, but his sexuality is something this kid cannot change, and yet people get him for it. I see that he hasn't ruled it on himself, in a way. Amanda Todd flashed to people she didn't know on the internet, which is fucking stupid. Like, no, just no. And apparently she sent people dirty videos of herself who she also didn't know, which is also just ridiculous. And she slept with someone else's boyfriend, knowing that he had a girlfriend. and things like that. So, for starters, I mean, sleeping with someone's boyfriend is horrible. And I'm not saying she was 100% to blame, because obviously this guy knew he had a girlfriend, obviously. So he is half to blame for this, but she also knew that you shouldn't do that. You do not send your pictures of yourself over to stuff on the internet. Like, I generally don't even go, you don't go on chat rooms or anything that people don't know, because I think it's ridiculous, you know? Like, I feel that this entire story is like a warning to young girls and guys to not be a fucking idiot and get naked for people you don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. And this is why I feel she could have avoided all of this. Because I'm thinking, like, she was, like, because obviously she posted a video on YouTube a month before she killed herself, with the little cars, and they write stuff on the cars and they move them, and they have song in the background, they don't say anything. And she never mentioned any other problems in her life that would have been the reason for her killing herself. So she was absolutely fine before she did these stupid things, you see. So, this is why it could have all been avoided if she hadn't been stupid in the first place. I'm not saying that people aren't too cruel, and I'm not saying she deserved to die at all, but the previous boys I mentioned that killed themselves, had, like, unavoidable problems. They, like, were bullied about things they could not change or couldn't get away from, or could have just avoided doing in the first place. And this girl created the problems herself, really. And also, her parents moved time and time and again to try and get away from these bullies, and yet she carried on doing the stupid things. Like, after she had those pictures taken of her and showed to all people in her school, she then moves school and then sleeps with this guy, and then has to move again, and then stuff like that. And I also think that cyberbullying, however bad it can be, and however much it's going to hurt somebody, you can. I'm not saying it's like that really easy to get away from, but I think that it is if you just don't go on Facebook or something. If you hate it, if you get so much shit from people online, you delete Facebook. You just don't go on things like that on the internet. You change your number. If you're getting text, you get a new email that you don't give to people. You know? And I'm not saying they wouldn't have bullied her to her face, which they probably did do. But, like, I think the cyberbullying is kind of avoidable. But anyway, there's also a message that somebody wrote on the Rest in Peace Amanda Todd Facebook page, which I'll read now. My best friend killed himself because his parents beat him, didn't feed him, and he legitimately got beat up in the public. He got no recognition, but some girl shows her body off, sends videos around her masturbating, has sex with some guy who has a girlfriend, and gets herself into something she could have controlled by not acting slutty, gets a page with nearly 710,000 likes. When my friend had a funeral with 4 friends that showed up, when he had helped people, cared for everyone, helped kids at the hospital with cancer, and his parents didn't even pay for the funeral or his casket. This is ridiculous. I hope you all rot in hell. She doesn't deserve this attention. And I just feel like this kid had legitimate problems that you can't get away from at that age. There's nowhere for you to go. And he gets nothing for that. You know, no one knows who this person is. And yet a girl who keeps creating more problems for herself by just doing stupid things does get, you know, global, like, not fame, but kind of fame for it. I don't understand society. I'm right. I'm not saying that she deserved this horrible end, and I do feel for her. But I feel like I don't see why she became some sort of martyr, almost a poster girl for suicide and bullying, which I think is also wrong anyway. Well, this is a very long video, I realised. I kind of got a little bit into it, but yeah, I'll see you next time.